This video presentation will discuss and compare Human Becoming Theory by Rosemarie Rizzo Pars to the Theory of Unitary Human Beings by Martha Rogers. Our group members include Kiriko Aguila, Arlene Jane Agustin, Christina Bernal, Christine Joy Cacho, and Cyril Dahan.
Rosemarie Pars graduated from Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, where she later served as the Dean of Nursing. She earned her master's and doctorate from the University of Pittsburgh, and a professor and coordinator of the Center for Nursing Research at Hunter College of the City of New York since 1983 to 1993. Pars is an articulate, courageous, and vibrant leader with a strong vision and a deliberate determination to advance the discipline of nursing. With a perspective that focuses on quality of life and human dignity from the perspective of patients, families, and communities. She published 9 books and over 100 articles, and she is a renowned speaker on nursing education. She received a Lifetime Achievement Awards from the Nursing Research Society, and the Society of Rogerian Scholars honored her by awarding the Martha Rogers Golden Slinky Award. In 2008, she received New York Times Nurse Educator of the Year Award. Currently, she is a consultant and visiting scholar at the New York University College of Nursing. She is a founder and current editor of Nursing Science Quarterly and a president of Discovery International. She is also a founder of the Institute of Human Becoming. The Human Becoming Theory of Rosemarie Pars was originally published in 1981 and was entitled Man Living Health. It was renamed in 1992 to remove the word man, which was formerly in the dictionary as humankind. The assumptions were synthesized from the works of different European philosophers. It was developed along with the works of American nurse theorist Martha Rogers. It is called a school of thought because it encompasses ontology, epistemology, and methodology. Human becoming refers to the human being's living health. It is a combination of biological, psychological, sociological, and spiritual factors, or the holistic approach. The theory states that a person is a unitary being in continuous interaction with environment. Nursing paradigms and Pars's theory. Person is an open being who is more than and different from the sum of the parts. Environment is everything in the person and his experiences. It is inseparable, complementary to, and evolving with. Health, this is an open process of being and becoming. It involves synthesis of values. Health is not static, but rather is ever-changing as humans choose ways of living. And nursing is a human science and art that uses an abstract body of knowledge to serve people.
There are 3 major assumptions of human being. It is the meaning, rhythmicity, and transcendence. For the meaning, it says that human becoming is choosing personal importance in situation and that an individual's reality is given meaning through experiences. For rhythmicity, it explains that human becoming is co-creating rhythmical patterns of relating immutable patterns with the universe, and that a person and environment co-create in rhythmical patterns. This permits nurses to make a more grounded nurse-patient relationship on the grounds that the nurse is not centered around altering issues, but rather is viewed the patient all-in-all individual living encounters through his or her surroundings. For transcendence, it states that human becoming refers to reaching beyond the limits a person sets, and that a person is constantly transforming himself or herself. Regarding nursing, it clarifies that a man is more than the total of its parts, and the environment and the individual are inseparable.
Martha Elizabeth Rogers was born in Dallas, Texas on May 12, 1914. sharing her birthday with Florence Nightingale. She grew up in a family where learning was fostered and reading was her favorite pastime. She received her nursing diploma from Knoxville General Hospital in 1936. She completed her BSN in Public Health Nursing in 1937 from George Peabody College, Nashville in 1937 and worked as a public health nurse. She earned her master's degree in public health nursing from Teachers College, Columbia University. In 1970, Martha Rogers introduced an abstract system of ideas from which to approach nursing care of unitary human being. Within this model, human beings are conceptualized as dynamic, constantly evolving energy fields rather than as homeostatic beings. Major concepts of the theory. Energy field is the fundamental unit of both living and non-living. They have no boundaries, extend to infinity, and are dynamic. The energy fields are open and are allowing continuous exchange with other fields. Pattern identifies energy fields. It is perceived as a single wave, and these patterns are not fixed but change as situations require. Pandimensionality is a nonlinear domain that is not bounded by space or time. It is an infinite domain without limit. Unitary humans. Human being is a unified being integral with the environment. The human field is in continuous mutual process with the environmental field. Environment. It is an irreducible pan-dimensional energy field identified by pattern and manifesting characteristics different from yet integral with the human field. Due to the inseparability of human beings and their environment, sequential life process are continuous revisions occurring from the interactions between human beings and their environment. Rogers chose homeodynamics instead of homeostasis, which means maintaining balance or equilibrium to convey the dynamic, ever-changing nature of life and the world. The three principles of homeodynamics are composed of three separate principles. First is principle of integrality. It is the continuous, mutual, simultaneous interaction process between humans and the environmental fields. Principle of resonancy. The change in the pattern of human beings and environment is propagated by waves that move from longer waves of lower frequency to shorter waves of higher frequency. Principle of helicity deals with the nature and the direction of change in the human environment field. The human environment field is dynamic, open system in which change is continuous due to constant interchange between the human and environment. The direction of change is toward ever-increasing diversity and complexity.
I will be discussing the assumptions of theory of unitary human beings of Martha Rogers. First, it states that man is a unified whole, possessing his own integrity and manifesting characteristics that are more than and different from the sum of his parts. Second, person and environment are continuously exchanging matter and energy with one another. The life process evolves irreversibly and unidirectionally along the space continuum. Third is pattern and organization identify man and reflect his innovative wholeness. Lastly, man is characterized by the capacity for abstraction and imagery, language and thought, sensation and emotion.
I will be discussing the advantages and disadvantages of using the two theories into practice. The first one would be Rosemary Parr's human becoming theory. We have identified as one of the advantages is that practicing within this model, the nurse would provide an empathic sounding board for clients and families to express and therefore uncover the meaning of thought and feelings, values, and changing views. As a disadvantage, the theory does not utilize the nursing process and negates the idea that each patient engages in a unique lived experience. It is not accessible to new nurses also, and it is inapplicable to acute emergent care. Going to Martha Rogers' unitary human being, we have identified that by understanding the mechanisms that affect the life process in humans makes it possible for the nurse to purposely intervene to affect client pattern manifestations in a desired direction. As a disadvantage, Tome and Aliguod state that ongoing studies and work within this model have served to simplify and clarify some of the concepts and relations. However, when the model is examined in total perspectives, some still classify it as complex. Therefore, lots of work is needed to use it in practice, research, and in education. Going forward, we identified the key differences of the two theories. We identified 4 concepts. The first one would be human beings, or the patient, and the family. So for Rosemary Parse, human being is an open being more than and different from the sum of its parts, while Martha Rogers identified them as a unitary energy field with a unique pattern. For the environment, Rosemary Parse theories stated that it is in mutual process with a person, while Martha Rogers said it is an energy field with mutual process with a human being. For health, for Rosemary Parse theory, it is continuously changing process of becoming, and for Martha Rogers, it is an expression of the complexity and innovativeness of patterning of the energy field that is in the person. For nursing, Rosemary Parse stated the use of true presence to facilitate the becoming of the participant, while for Martha Rogers, nursing is a compassionate concern of human beings by using independent science and practice art in which nurses intervene to improve pattern manifestations and the environment to achieve maximum health and potentials.
I am going to discuss Martha Rogers' unitary human being theory and Rosemary Parse' human becoming theory, their value and usefulness in nursing practice. At first, I'm going to discuss Martha Rogers. First, Martha Rogers' theory, when applied to nursing practice, will enable nurses to understand the importance of studying the connection of human health to his or her environment. It provides nurses information on how human can affect the environment and environment to human health or behavior in return. It allows care provider to understand that human and environment coexist and cannot be separated with each other. Experience may be repeated but can be seen or analyzed in different perspectives. And last, it gives understanding that an organized body of knowledge, which is specific to nursing, is attained by scientific research and logical analysis, and the creative use of science for the betterment of human is the art of nursing. Next, it's Rosemary Parse' human becoming theory. First, it different from traditional nursing practice. Second, ability to see patient's perspective allows a nurse to be with patient to guide them toward desired outcome. Third, enhances the understanding of human life experiences, health, quality of life, and human of quality practice. And last, it can build new nursing knowledge about universal life experience, which may ultimately contribute to health and quality of life.
Although Rosemary Parse developed the theory of human becoming through a combination of concepts from Martha Rogers and from existential phenomenological thought, Parse's theory provides a more specific guidelines and approach to all aspects of nursing. Both theories have similarities, especially with the concept of the effects of the environment towards a person's overall well-being. Parse described the environment as inseparable from the person, as well as complementary to and evolving with the person, while Rogers' concept described environment and human as mutually and constantly changing together. Basically, humans affect their environment and the environment affects them in return. Any small change in a person's environment causes a ripple effect, which then causes larger changes in other fields. They both view human and their environments as mutually interacting and constantly evolving, which may affect a person's health. Both theories also view nursing as a science and an art, and that nurses should view patients as a whole. However, it is Pars who laid out a more concrete guideline on how to incorporate such concepts into the nursing practice. Rogers' theory is more of an abstract system specific to nursing from which many other theories can derive. It is believed to be profound, extremely abstract, and highly generalizable as our concepts and ideas are not confined with a specific nursing approach unlike Pars's. In conclusion, we find that the theory of human becoming by Rosemary Rizzo Pars to be more helpful as it is more specific and straightforward. As nurses, we should be able to view a patient as a human being and not just another tough subject. Being able to focus on a person's quality of life allows the patient to feel like they're in charge of their health and the outcome. As nurses, we should be present with the patient on their journey. We should not be the one controlling their desired outcomes and recognize that the patient is the expert in their own life. They're the only ones that know how they want to live their life, and we should be able to follow them in their journey and support them in every step of the way. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you all for watching.